Good morning, friends. This is Steve and Yana. Hello, Steve. Say hi to my friends.
Hi!
Well, that's nice that he can find humor still in this dark world, but yes, we have to do our best to stay sane in this insane world, right?
Dark and painful world.
Yes, it is indeed. But we have Jesus, and when we have Jesus, we have everything. In him we have hope, love, faith, and we know that he is with us. He has never forsaken us, and he will stay with us till the end. So our hope is in Jesus Christ. And good morning, everyone again. Yesterday I told you about on my little channel, Rise Up Children of God, that the Rockefeller Foundation is publishing now that there will be reset, of course, financial reset. They're planning. The entire COVID hoax was pre-planned years ahead. It's a mind control operation. It's a lie, just like Bible says Satan is the father of lies. He is not powerful, only powerful in deception and lying. Okay, so they have pre-planned this whole scenario because they pre-planned to do a reset, to pull a plug on our economy. So the only way to persuade common man to agree to this was to brainwash him that he's gonna die of COVID. Okay, so they have pulled a psychological operation through media. Everybody, of course, has a TV, watches TV, so they managed to persuade everybody that there is a boogie virus after them. And this is how Americans have given up their rights, their liberty for safety, which is a false safety because they are walking right into slavery. And it's a technocratic fascism, communism on steroids. And yesterday I told you Rockefeller Foundation is publishing, they're going to reset with this new economy. They're resetting the table, yes, your dinner table, meeting the moment to transform the US food system. Okay, we know that they have been already attacking our food system in several ways. We know there are patents for genetically modified foods, and when they are saying that food will be for everybody and it will be nutritious, friends, this is going to be genetically modified crops that you're gonna see. Also, if you like your protein, your meat, they are planning on completely stopping food supply that comes from meat, animals. Okay, so everything is going to be different in a very soon future for those who survive this transfer. Now, the Rockefeller Foundation here published, look what they're telling you. America faces a hunger and nutrition crisis unlike any this country has seen in generations. I mean, what does that tell you, Steve? Did you hear this? Again, America faces a hunger and nutrition crisis unlike any this country has seen in generations. Yes, our sources from a government were warning Steve and me to stock up on food because they are planning artificial famine.
Yes.
Artificially created famine, that is. The famine won't be artificial, it will be real. But they're preparing, artificially preparing famine, okay? And now they're telling you in their own Rockefeller documents that we are going to have famine unlike any this country has seen in generations. So, but of course, Rockefellers have the solution, right? They create the crisis and they come with solution. And
Worm burgers, that's their
yeah,
solution.
worm burgers and genetically modified crops.
Of course.
And everything is set up in a beautiful words like, oh, it's all for you. And they even mention how Black and Latino people are suffering and we're gonna all help them and we are here to save you. Look at this. While COVID-19 and the resulting economic downturn made negative consequences of the food system worse and more obvious, the pandemic did not create them, and its end will not solve them. COVID-19 has, however, increased both the imperative and the opportunity to address these flaws and limitations once and for all. Now is the moment. Transform the U.S. food system. Now, does not that sound just so wonderful and heroic? No, ladies and gentlemen, this is really bad news for America and for your children. But what I did is I read this document, I sent it off to Deborah Tavares and a few other friends, and we are planning very soon, in few days, as soon as we are back on Israeli News Live, we are going to go into the details of this food transformation, how they pre-planned this, and we will have a very good program on this with Deborah Tavares. She's preparing it to explain it to you in a very simple words, what the translation of that document means. It's basically Agenda 2030. Okay, so now let me update you on few other things that are happening around the world and are very troubling. Look what's about to happen in New Zealand, and think about this. This is a global agenda. This is not New Zealand agenda. So if New Zealand is gonna go through this in October, think about it, what will happen here, okay? Can we turn this on, Steve?
Yeah, you can turn it on. You can
just watch again?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Let me do like this here, because this is extremely important here.
How's it going? The time is just 10 to 12 on the 11th of August. Now, I put out a video about 45 minutes ago, thereabouts. And new information I've just got from a good mate of mine, and this is very good information and it's very legit. Now I'm going to read it out because I've just written it down. The New Zealand Defence Force will take over New Zealand from October the 1st. Hospitals will be taken over, quarantining bases will be taken over, and airports will be taken over. This is martial law, people. It's coming very soon. Troops will enforce mandatory testing on every household throughout the country. The same plan of attack as when they were in Timor will be used on the people of New Zealand. They have been instructed to use brute force and or any force necessary to make people take the tests. Troops are now training for the next 2 weeks to deal with protests and riots due to few food shortages and loss of jobs. New Zealand is going full martial law very, very soon. I believe, and I'm telling you now, this is an act of treason by the Prime Minister of New Zealand. This is me, across the Rubicon, where you get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, the way I see it. You better start wising up, people, because this is happening. Okay, see you later. Please support me.
Okay. So, Steve, your comment.
The thing is, if this is happening in New Zealand, you can only imagine then that it's going to happen in the United States as well. And I would imagine that we're going to probably find that it's going to be in unison across the world. Because if you only have it in one country and then the information gets out on social media, then other countries would begin to prepare and know what to do to kind of counteract the problem. But they're not going to be able to counteract it because it's the information is already there. So this is a very serious situation, friends. And if you'll notice, they're going to use loss of jobs, hunger, food shortages, things like that. That's what's going to help make people more compliant, because they'll offer you a way to get your food. Well, in America, it's going to be through FEMA programming. Wow, what do you know? The concentration camps. No, won't be any part of it whatsoever. So
Yes.
you need to get ready.
Well, he said they're going to beginning October 1st, take over airports, quarantine places, hospital. I mean, you name it, and they're instructed to use force. That reminds me warp speed operation that Trump was warning us about that he's part of, and he said he's going to employ military. Why?
And notice, Trump, as far as I know of, never said which military he's going to employ. And isn't it ironic that Russia is the one that has the vaccine, courtesy of Israel, because Israel doesn't want the blood on their own hands, so they give it to Russia?
That's exactly right. People have no knowledge of the fact that who is behind these vaccines is actually State of Israel. And they are trying to stay in shadow so nobody points at them. And Russia is the one that was willing to go first with the experimentation. But anyway, also on this so-called peace deal that they did, well, it's not so-called, but Abrahamic thing, we're going to comment with Steve. We are doing deeper research on what's happened. And we're going to comment on this. And I know that a lot of Christians are saying this is fulfillment of prophecy. We will have our own comments on this, if not tonight, within several few days. Anyway, let's keep going. This is also very disturbing here on Twitter. Dr. Siegel wants children to wear yellow badges going back to school saying, "No hugs, please." Yellow badges? What does that remind you of?
Well,
but once there is a vaccine, they can throw their yellow badges in the garbage to show that they got it in an experiment. Well, look at this.
Sounds like Nazi Germany, doesn't it?
No hugs, please. Now, if you look at this pin, Tucker, you'll see this pin looks like something you might remember. No smoking, please.
Oh, sorry. It's like I'm trying to see.
Sadly, but I'm going to say this. With this pin or shirts, no hugs, please. Guess what's going to happen? We're going to get 26 candidates for a vaccine coming out into clinical trials right now. Vaccines are going to emerge. We're going to beat this thing, and then this goes in the garbage, and we're all going to hug each other. In the meantime, Tucker, let's show our kids courage. They're looking to parents for leadership. Leadership says, open the schools wherever we can, Tucker.
I don't know if I can go there. I'm a hugger.
Here's one other thing we have.
Did you hear this? He's saying it's going to be good that they're going to have these yellow badges, the kids, no hugs, please, but they can throw them away after vaccinations. What in the world? I mean, are we among psychopaths right now? Yellow badges? Okay, well, yes, we are indeed among psychopaths. These leaders, I'm telling you, every and each one have sold out humanity to this beast program that they're unleashing. Look at all these, talking about psychopaths. Look at all of that here. Hold on just a minute. Employees need masks even for at-home Zoom calls, Wisconsin agency says. So if you work at home, not enough. If you are on a Zoom and you have like work meeting or whatever, you have to have a mask even if you are by yourself in your house in a room. But because you are on a Zoom, you have to have a mask. Okay, sounds good? Here we go. Some Wisconsin state officials aren't fooling around when it comes to the spread of COVID-19. In an email to employees sent out on July 31st, the head of Wisconsin's Department of Natural Resources not only reminded employees of Governor Tony Evers' mask order going into effect on August 1st, he also said that every DNR employee must wear a mask even while on a teleconference. Also, wear your mask even if you are at home to participate in a virtual meeting that involves being seen, such as on Zoom or another video conferencing platform. Okay, so that tells you something. That tells you this is not for your health. That tells you it has nothing to do with a fake COVID.